They were supposed to outlive us. They were supposed to be the last ones standing. But now they won't get the chance.
Tell them about the Twinkie.
What about the Twinkie?
It seems the Twinkie will soon be extinct. Along with cupcakes, ding-dongs, zingers,
chocolate cupcakes,
and several other staples so many have grown to love.
We grew up with Hostess. I can remember in our household, if we got treats, it was usually a Hostess cupcake, a Hostess something.
Hostess Brands announced Friday it will be shutting down operations for good after a nationwide baker's strike. This closure will mean the loss of more than 18,000 jobs. Local stores are already seeing the effects of the recent announcement. There's not much left here on the shelves at the Carbondale Kroger. All of the Hostess products have been whittled down to this one small section. Which one's your favorite?
Definitely Twinkies.
Tim Daniels was grocery shopping when he got word from his wife about the closing.
She sent me a quick text that said, hey, grab some Twinkies on your way home because this might be your last chance.
The 82-year-old company did mention the possibility of someone buying their products in a letter sent out to distributors. The question is, will a Twinkie by any other name taste as sweet? We can only hope.
I can't believe they're not going to make ding-dongs anymore.
In Carbondale, Melissa Cohn, News 3.
Gun range and training center talking with owners about the new legislation. Good morning, Melissa.
Hey, good morning, Jayla. Good morning, Kevin. Yeah, busy would be a good way to explain it. We are out at Tombstone Gun Range in Marion, and joining us this morning is the founder. This is Dave Kemp, and it's only been open for a couple of weeks, but you said there's already a pretty long line, right?
Yeah, people are excited in general just to have a range open somewhere where they can get in and go out to shoot. That's one of the biggest questions we get these days is where can I go to shoot? And there are other ranges in Southern Illinois. Most of them, the membership is closed. And there's a long waiting list, and it seems like somebody has to die before you can get into another range to go shoot somewhere. So people are already excited about a range in general, and now we have concealed carry that's passed, and so it's adding a new level to the excitement.
Oh, I bet. Now, with the concealed carry passing last night, how did you feel when you heard about the news?
Well, obviously it's good for our business. We've been taking a waiting list so far for the last several months for any future Illinois concealed carry class that we might put on. Mm-hmm. We have about 400 people on that waiting list already before the bill even passed, just in anticipation of this happening. So there's already a big level of excitement for Illinois concealed carry and the training that's going to go along with that.
Okay, and with the concealed carry passing, what are the steps that are need to be taken in order to get
Well,
this
generally
license?
speaking, people are going to need 16 hours worth of training before they can apply for their permit. Now, there are some exemptions to that. You know, military veterans are exempted up to 8 hours of that training requirement. Also, if you have a concealed carry permit from another state, that may exempt you for 8 hours, but everybody's still going to have to take at least a 1-day, 8-hour training class where they have to actually do a live fire qualification shoot with a handgun as well.
Mm-hmm. And aside from the 16 hours of training, you also have to apply for the permit, correct?
Yes, there's an application you have to fill out, a questionnaire dealing with your background. It's going to cost $150 to send to the state of Illinois to get your application processed. And that's really not going to start for maybe 5 or 6 months from now. Okay. So even though the bill has just passed, it's still going to be a while before we get this whole process rolling. It's going to take actually a couple of months before we can actually start even doing the concealed carry training classes at our range. Our instructors have to be certified. Our classes have to be certified. So even though the bill is passed already, we can't just jump right into it. There's still some administrative processes that have to take place, and we'll be patiently waiting for that to get completed.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And coming up in just a little bit, we'll talk about some of the other classes that they have to offer, including some where women can get involved. And that's coming up a little bit later. But for now, we'll head back to the studio. Kevin, Jayla. Plus, wild horses like the ones you see right behind me are going up for adoption. I'll have all the details in a live report coming up later in the morning.
Talking with the owner about how others can help save these majestic creatures.
Good morning, Kevin and Jayla. The horses you see behind me were once wild horses running free, roaming out west, and now They are in the hands of Walter Gentry and his wife, and they have a beautiful farm in Mount Vernon. In fact, you adopted these, and it's a part of a government-run program that's holding an adoption event next weekend. And Walter is going to tell us a little bit about the requirements that are needed in order to adopt one of these beautiful creatures.
Okay, first you have to be 18 years old. And you have to have a pen built that is at least 6 foot tall for a horse, 5 foot tall for a burro, and anything that's younger like a yearling.
Okay.
Then it has to be 400 square feet, which is only a 20 by 20 pen.
Okay, and you can actually see if you want to take the camera over there and just, this is actually enough for 2 horses.
That's big enough for 2. It has to be split in the middle, and that gives 450 square feet and the required amount of shade and shelter above the horses.
And that's 12 by 12?
12 by 12.
Okay. And how much do they eat?
I'm sorry, they eat roughly 25 pounds of hay every day.
Okay.
Per 1,000 pounds. So none of these horses weigh 1,000 pounds, so it's not, that's less than a full bale, a square bale of hay a day. And of course I run them on pasture.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of hard to know exactly. I do grain mine. It's not necessary. They get by just fine without it.
Okay. And what's actually very interesting when I first heard about the adoption program is that it's not as expensive as you would think. If they're under 3 years old, it's going to cost $125. If they're older than 3 years old, it's the $25 adoption fee, correct?
That's correct.
Excellent. Well, by the way, this next adoption event is happening in Ewing, Illinois this upcoming weekend. If you put up on the screen, you'll see the address. It's a facility on Sheep Farm Road. And if you just want to print out the adoption papers as well, you can log on to blm.gov/adopt-a-horse. Reporting in Mount Vernon with Stetson and Walter Gentry, I'm Melissa Cohn with News 3. And we are out at Mermat Lake for the Superman Classic Archery Tournament. That runs all week and it's going to be wrapping up later today. There's a national tournament happening this weekend as well. Joining us this morning is Carl and Ty, and they have been explaining the correct way to shoot an arrow. And we're going to see how well I can learn this real quick. So if you want to give us a quick tutorial.
Yeah, basically, right-handed holds it this way.
Okay.
There,
and this is a smaller bow, right?
Right.
This is for the kids.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you don't want to lock the arm?
Right.
Anything else?
You may hit it with a string.
Okay. And am I pulling it back? How do I do this?
Yeah, you just pull it back to the corner of your mouth.
Okay.
And then you aim with the tip of your arrow.
Okay.
And then you release your fingers.
All right.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
At least I hit the bag, right?
Yeah.
You can tell I am not quite the professional that you guys are. But thank you so much for joining us, and good luck this weekend. And
Thank
there's
you.
a pretty big prize in there for you. By the way, there is still time to get involved with the Superman Classic Tournament today and the National Tournament. All the information is up on the screen. Plus, if the kids want to get involved as well, there are free classes for kids under 15, and those are going to be running all weekend long. All the information can be found a little bit later this morning on our website, WSILTV.com. Reporting in Massac County, Melissa Cohn, News 3.
Melissa Cohn is live at the Harrison Bruce Historical Village, talking about ways you can experience these nearly 200-year-old gems. Good morning, Melissa.
Hey, good morning, Jayla. Yeah, we're still hanging out in the 1800s. In fact, we are in a replica house that was originally in Herrin, and that is why I feel a little more comfortable because the last two didn't have air conditioning. I don't know how they ever lived in the 1800s, but we are in a very interesting house. In fact, Dr. Steve O'Keefe is going to tell us about this replica that we're standing in right now.
This was the original Harrison house that was in Herrin, and again, the Julia Harrison Bruce Foundation has graciously donated.
Is live at the fairgrounds this morning talking to the folks that create some of these amazing street machines. Melissa.
Hey, Jayla. Hey, Kevin. Yeah, we have got Gary Mulder with us. He's with Chevrolet Performance, and he is one of the men that are behind these street machines. You're not on the design team. You actually build these cars, right?
That is correct. We take the designs that our design center gives us, and then we're responsible for putting the actual vehicles together.
Cohn is live at Carterville Fire Department this morning talking about fireworks safety. Good morning, Melissa.
Good morning, Jayla. Yeah, 4th of July is here, and with it comes the fireworks. But if they are not handled correctly, those exciting displays can turn deadly very quickly. Joining us this morning is Bruce Talley. He is the fire chief here in Carterville, and he's going to tell us some ways to keep the firemen and the paramedics off your doorstep tonight. Good morning.
Good morning, Melissa. I'd like to remind everybody this is a celebration day, or Independence, 4th of July, if you will, and we want to keep it a safe weekend, if you will, and that fireworks certainly are going to go on for the weekend.
Melissa. Good morning, Kristen. Now listen to this. A new bill in Samoa could make dog meat the country's newest export. Officials say the streets are overrun with packs of stray dogs.